Zhang Weili versus Joanna Jedrzejczyk is right around the corner, and the more that I think about this fight, the more troubled I am that I can't come to a definitive decision on what I think the outcome's going to be. When you think about who the best brawler, who the dirtiest boxer or striker is in women's MMA, you know, names would come to mind like Cyborg, Amanda Nunes, Jessica Andrade, but there's a new name. Jessica Andrade went in there and fought her game against Zhang Weili. The thing that she didn't understand is that Zhang Weili is much better at playing that game. There are brawlers out there. There are the Chris Liebens, the Keith Jardines, and there are people that brawl with a little bit more tact. Jeremy Stevens, for example. Zhang Weili has taken women's MMA to once again another height with her performance against Jessica Andrade. There's a lot of people out there in the previous videos that I've made regarding this fight saying that Zhang Weili was a fluke. There are other people out there that are saying that Zhang Weili is the truth. We haven't seen anyone like her. We're not going to see anyone like her again sometime soon. Her and Valentina Shevchenko are on the same level, and that's the fight that needs to be made. The good thing about this is that after this fight with Joanna Jedrzejczyk, we will have our definitive answer. I believe that this is the fight that's going to be the true test for not only Zhang Weili to see where she's truly at as a champion, but this is going to be a test for Joanna Jedrzejczyk as well. We don't know if Joanna Jedrzejczyk still has it, if she's willing to come back. She beat Michelle Waterson. Michelle Waterson's a very, very good fighter, but when it comes to the aggressive pressure and counterpunching style that Joanna has been so susceptible to in the past, Michelle Waterson does not possess those attributes. Zhang Weili is going to come forward. Zhang Weili is going to want to brawl. Zhang Weili is going to be in Joanna's face as often and as constant as her cardiovascular capacities will handle. The question comes in what kind of fight does Joanna decide to make? I can tell you what Joanna's planning to do. Her game plan is going to be to circle into the weak side of Zhang Weili's striking, not towards the power side. Stay on the outside. Do not engage in any brawling. Anytime that you go past punching range into elbow and into clinch range, get out of there. We know that Joanna Jedrzejczyk is going back to her Muay Thai roots, but I assume that her coaches understand that in the common eye of perception that Zhang Weili's grappling is severely underestimated. Now, Joanna, of anybody in women's MMA, of anybody in MMA whatsoever, she is the one that does not get taken down, and she is the one that when she does get taken down, she gets back up. But I believe that Zhang Weili is going to apply a pressure and an ability to grapple that, once again, Joanna is not used to. So I assume the game plan is going to be to stay away from the tight clinch, stay away from clinch distance, stay at long distance at all costs. Now the question is what does Joanna end up doing? Does she end up getting caught in the inside, or does she do a very good job at keeping her distance? We know that Joanna throws that same 1-2-1 combination that Holly Holm likes so much. That's a combination that commits you deep inside of the pocket, and if your opponent slips one of those 3 straight punches, more likely than not, that's going to end with you being stuck on the inside, which means that's a close enough distance for Zhang to grab Joanna. Joanna, once again, has not shown any lack of ability to defend takedowns or get up from takedowns, but there's a strong possibility that if Zhang Weili grabs the takedown against Joanna Jedrzejczyk, that Joanna Jedrzejczyk is not going to get back up that round. There's also a strong possibility that Joanna gets back up. Who knows? My questions for this fight are, does Zhang Weili have the cardiovascular capacity to go 5 rounds? Given her build, given her style, given her output, does she have the capacity to go 5 rounds? Will Zhang Weili take time off inside that octagon like Yoel Romero does to conserve energy? Wait, burst, wait, burst, so that in the fact that she has to go 5 rounds, she's able to do so. Will Joanna go out there and execute what I assume her game plan is going to be, which is to stay at distance, not let Zhang Weili get too close, and keep her on the outside? Or will Joanna unfortunately go back to some of her roots, which put her on the inside versus her opponents, and end up in that close range where Zhang Weili is able to get her hands on her, take her down, elbow her, essentially be the stronger, more dominant person from the clinch position. Another very important aspect that we have to think about in Joanna Jedrzejczyk versus Zhang Weili is the fact that Joanna Jedrzejczyk has had a history of having very, very good movement outside of striking range and when coming into striking range. But when Joanna Jedrzejczyk throws her combinations, she is very well known for being stationary throughout those combinations. She might move around outside of the pocket. She might move around to set up her strikes. But once she decides to start striking, the majority of her strikes are seen with her momentum and her body coming straight down the middle. This is going to play directly into Zhang Weili's game. What also scares me about this for Joanna Jedrzejczyk is the fact that Zhang Weili might just decide that she's going to eat Joanna's first couple strikes and just continue to come forward. Joanna has not had a history of finishing people with power strikes. When Joanna Jedrzejczyk gets finishes, such as like she did against Carla Esparza, it comes from Joanna overwhelming her opponents with multiple strikes and the ref coming in and stopping it. It does not come from Joanna hitting and cracking and rocking individuals with just one strike. So Zhang Weili might just decide that she's willing to eat 1, 2, or 3 punches to get inside to her technical brawling striking distance. If this is the case, coupled with the fact that we just spoke about, Joanna Jedrzejczyk, once she does decide to strike, is very stationary, and when she's not stationary when striking, she's going straight forward. Zhang Weili might decide to sit and wait for Joanna to commit to a combination or a strike or a set of strikes, and then close that gap, willing to eat a few strikes just to get close. And that's the distance that Zhang Weili is going to operate best at, that brawling distance. Even though this looks like, on paper, a very bad matchup for Joanna, there are still things that reign in Joanna's favor, such as the cardio advantage. I've made past videos and I've had many comments from Zhang Weili supporters say things along the lines of, Zhang Weili trains 6 hours a day, her training schedule is insane. What Joanna is doing is not very impressive or crazy in comparison to the training that we've seen Zhang Weili do. Look, it's been stated by Joe Rogan, it's been stated by a lot of people in the field, it's even been stated by strength and conditioning coaches. There's a certain point where with a certain body, with a certain body type, with a certain type of muscle fiber type, whether it's fast twitch, hybrid, or slow twitch, here we're talking about fast twitch when we're talking about Zhang Weili, there's only so much energy, there's only so much blood and oxygen that your muscles and body can have on tap, on file, ready to go. When you have that fast twitch muscle fiber, that thick but yet still quick muscle fibers, unless you're on a performance enhancing drug, there is, as current science says, a cap for how much cardiovascular capacity that you can have. What this means is that, much like a Rumble Johnson, much like a Yoel Romero, Zhang Weili is not going to be able to go at her maximum capacity, at her maximum output for the entire 5 rounds. Now, someone like Joanna Jedrzejczyk, someone like me, very slender, your body doesn't have to use as much oxygen per punch for someone of my stature as a Zhang Weili body type. Joanna Jedrzejczyk and I have that advantage. We might not have the fast twitch explosiveness, we might not have that brute strength, but we have the ability to last longer while doing it. Also on that factor, Joanna Jedrzejczyk definitely has the experience advantage. Now, a lot of people say that Zhang Weili is inexperienced. That's not true. This woman has had plenty of fights. But when it comes to top-level fights in the UFC for championship belts, Joanna Jedrzejczyk 100% has the experience advantage. She should be able to go out there and maintain her pace or pick a pace and game plan for her cardiovascular easier than Zhang Weili is going to be able to, because as we've seen in the past with Joanna Jedrzejczyk, she's faster in the 5th round than she is the 1st. There's not a single other fighter on the UFC's roster that you can say that about. Not even Nate Diaz. She is faster in the 5th round than she is in the 1st. Despite the training that Zhang Weili is doing, I will be more than surprised if that is the case for her. But with Zhang Weili, unless it's a complete mismatch from the jump and just Joanna's just so durable that she's just in there taking punishment, I don't believe that Zhang Weili is going to be able to keep up the same pace as Joanna for the length of the fight. I do believe that if it's not a back and forth battle, and a back and forth battle where it comes out and we see that they are truly evenly matched, Zhang Weili in the 4th and 5th rounds, if Joanna Jedrzejczyk hasn't sustained extreme damage, more likely than not, and I would almost guarantee, is not going to have the same cardio output that Joanna is going to be able to have. But that's not what Zhang Weili is looking for. Zhang Weili knows she's going to have to conserve a little bit of that energy in the process, like a Yoel Romero. But that's another thing. When you're conserving that energy in the process, it's a question of what's going to happen there. In Israel Adesanya versus Yoel Romero, we've seen that if Yoel decides to take a moment off against Israel Adesanya, there's a good chance that Adesanya catches him in that moment. This is something that Yoel's going to 100% have to do, like we've seen him do in the past, to go 5 rounds. He has to do it to go 3 rounds. Now, does Joanna have the punching power, the finishing, the strict one-strike finishing ability to make Zhang Weili pay in that moment? I don't think so. I think, and luckily for Zhang Weili, that she's going to be able to take those soft breaks in this fight. She's going to be able to sit and take her time off. And even if she does get caught by strikes from Joanna in that process, I don't believe that Joanna has the punching power to be able to cause permanent, and by permanent I mean for the length of the fight, permanent damage to Zhang Weili. Zhang Weili versus Joanna Jedrzejczyk is just right around the corner. So all this talking that we've done, all the predictions, all of the thoughts will be set to rest come this weekend. Brothers, we're going to be live streaming, and make sure to be there. Make sure to check out the main channel. If you made it this far, you obviously for some reason like listening to me talk. So on the main channel is where our high quality content comes into play, the studio content. This is Nick with Combat Sports World, reminding you to always, no matter what situation, no matter where you're at, what you're doing, it doesn't matter if you're at church, stay combative, my friends.